So I haven't had the chance to just sit here and talk about video games in a little while. I've been traveling a lot, I've been doing a lot of vlogs, a lot of Game Quest, stuff like that, but I haven't actually got to sit down and really talk about video games since the last time I talked about the Wii U or anything like that. And a lot of stuff has happened since then. Red Dead trailers, the new NX, a bunch of like big video game stuff, even the NES Mini and stuff like that, and it's all kind of just passed me by. I didn't get a chance to talk about any of it, but recently with the NX being revealed and the Nintendo Switch and everything that's going on with that, I had a lot of people going back and watching my Is the Wii U Still Worth It video and leaving a lot of comments like, do you still think the Wii U is worth it? And asking me in social medias, because that's kind of something that I've been known for, is defending the Wii U, and do you think it's still worth buying the Wii U with the NX or the Switch not being backwards compatible? And I think if you watch that video, the Is the Wii U Worth It, and listen to what I was saying in entirety, it absolutely is. Even though it still hasn't had a price drop, and hopefully it will eventually for people that haven't got the console yet, the Wii U library is still extremely solid, with a lot of great titles, at least 15 solid titles, but maybe even more, that you can pick up and play, and they all have a lot of replayability, but that's still 15 or 20 exclusive titles only to that system that you're not going to be able to play on the Switch. So unless you're really hard up for cash and you can't afford to get the Wii U right now and the Switch, and you want to get the Switch on launch, which I wouldn't 100% recommend. I mean, if the new Zelda game is going to be backwards compatible, you can get the Wii U, start building up your library, and only have to buy the new Zelda game, which is probably the only thing worth buying at launch anyway for the NX, for the Switch, and get it for the Wii U and still have your Wii U library. So as far as is the Wii U still worth it, absolutely. Nothing's going to change in that. In fact, with the NX or the Switch, you got to start calling it the Switch, not being backwards compatible, that makes the Wii U even more worth it if you can pick one up cheap, because you have no other way of playing these games unless they make them downloadable and online only, which it sucks. It's Nintendo, buy it physical, buy the Wii U, buy all the games. So as far as is the Wii U still worth it, let me just put that to rest right now. Yes, it's always going to be. It absolutely always is going to be. And you can go back and watch my video, and that's the reasons why I think it is that's the reason why I think it is worth it, and why it will always be worth it. It has more exclusive titles, more quality titles only for that system than any other system has only for their system. Nintendo is always really good at knocking it out of the park. So as far as is the Switch worth getting, is the Switch worth investing or pre-ordering and all of that, obviously there's no price tag on it right now. If it comes out as $1,500 on launch, no, I don't think it's worth buying right away, or ever, or at all. But is it worth actually getting for a reasonable price? And Nintendo systems are usually a decent, reasonable price. Yeah, it's going to be, because it's Nintendo, because even though the Wii U was even though the Wii U was, for all intents and purposes, a failure system, it's now a dead system. I think I heard that they're not even producing and they're not even in the production line anymore. So it had a really short lifespan, and it still managed to bring out as many good games as it did. They're going to do the same thing with the NX, and they're not going to want to screw it up this time. So they're going to want to put more into it. They want to go ham with it, and they're going to want to put out a lot of great titles. And I was at Retro World Expo, and there was a Nintendo booth there, and someone came up to me and said one of the Nintendo reps that were working there told him they're making a new Metroid game, and that it's absolutely happening. I don't know if that guy had any sort of knowledge or power or the right to be telling this random guy at a convention about this, but if that's true, and I mean, it has to be, it's time for a new Metroid, and I'm sure Nintendo knows that, and they didn't do one at all in the last generation, and I think it would have been because they were waiting for it. And if anything's been announced, and I don't know, because that happens a lot, I don't really stay in tune as much as I used to. Let me know down below if Metroid is coming, but it is. I have a really good feeling that it is. So we're gonna get a new Metroid, I think. I'm not confirming that. I don't know shit. I might work with Nintendo here and there, but I don't know shit. I think there's going to be a new Metroid. There's going to be the new Zelda, which is going to look a little better on the NX, hopefully, you would think, than the Wii U. And we're going to get a lot more great titles. Probably going to get a Splatoon 2. We're probably going to get a bunch of other really great exclusives, a little bit of your Mario games and what have you. Games that'll make the system worth buying. But the biggest thing that makes it worth buying is they're not going to be doing a handheld on top of this. And I'm pretty sure that that's what they have said at some point somewhere. I mean, you're not going to want to bring out a home console system and stress the point that you can unplug it and play it like a handheld anywhere you go at any time, and that's the key feature here, and then put out a handheld on top of that. So this is going to be a mix of the 3DS and the home console Wii U in one system. So that again makes it even more worth it, because you know that Nintendo knocks it out the park with their handheld systems. The 3DS is insane, and if they were coming out with a 3DS 2, there wouldn't even be a question. It wouldn't even be asking, should I pick it up? Yeah, because the 3DS owned every generation, every system from the last generation. Like, it had the best, it had a huge library, had the best quality exclusives, it had a ton of exclusives, it had so much for that system. It was so jam-packed with entertainment. So if they're not bringing out another one of them, and they're going to combine a home console with a portable console, you're not going to have to buy Super Smash Bros. Twice, you're not going to have to buy Hyrule Warriors twice, you're not going to have to buy 2 different systems. So even if this NX is twice as expensive as the Wii U was on launch, at least you don't have to buy a 3DS as well. So you're saving money on that, because you've got both the 3DS and the Wii U in one system, which is the Switch. I don't know, as far as how I feel about the concept of the Switch, Nintendo is always doing their gimmicky stuff. They're always doing the tablets and what, that's always going to happen. And I like that Nintendo is innovative. For the longest time, and it's weird, for the longest time leading up to the NX, they were talking about how it was going to compete with the newer systems. It was going to be a beast system. It was going to be better. And everyone wanted it to be up there. Everyone wanted to compete. Everyone wanted to be able to say, all the Nintendo fanboys like myself wanted to be able to say, hey PS4, hey Xbox One, our system is better. But really, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, you can dispute about which one's better. I mean, they have a few different exclusives till like the fucking dawn of time, but they're pretty much the same. I mean, when you compare it to Nintendo, they are pretty much the same system. It's one or the other. You don't need to get both, really. I mean, if you want Nintendo, you have to get Nintendo. You have no choice. But if you want everything else, you can really get a PS4 or an Xbox One, unless you really like Uncharted or really like Gears of War. So if Nintendo was to do that, just to make another third-party console where all the games look the same on, and it's just gonna get a third thing. That's the third thing that is the same as the other things. So make it different, innovate. And as soon as I saw the Switch trailer, I was like, yeah, you know what, screw it. It's a little quirky, there's a little much going on. I don't know how I feel about the little flimsy looking controllers, but end of the day, you can stick it in your TV and use a Pro controller, which is probably what I'll do, like I do now anyway. And Nintendo is like all big on their gimmicks, and then it first comes out and they realize, oh, well, this gimmick actually does kind of work and is nice, and the rest of them suck. So let's never use them again. So apart from on the launch titles and probably a lot in the new Zelda, you're probably not going to have to use those gimmicky features apart from on launch. So yeah, it's kind of like a catch-22, but at least they're trying something different. At least they're out there. At least they're innovative. At least you have a different gaming experience. And there are some benefits to it. For example, a Pokemon game. Obviously, Pokemon games, if there's no 3DS, are going to be on this thing, so they're going to look a lot better. But here's the thing. Pokemon Go is such a huge thing now, and it's so successful that clearly there is something there. There is something with taking your game and inputting it into real life situations. So imagine a console where you can play it at home on a big TV with really nice graphics, and then when you want to go outside, you can take it with you and play outside, and then you can put in some Pokemon Go elements, maybe some augmented reality, maybe catching Pokemon in the wild, maybe a tracker, maybe a pedometer thing, so you can count your steps, you can hatch some eggs while you're away from your system, and then you can come home, you can plug it into your system, upload all your data, and then keep playing in the game. Or you could have a mini game version of the game on the tablet. So if you're playing like Star Fox, for example, the new Star Fox on the Switch, you can play the actual Star Fox game, but when you use it on the tablet, you can play Star Fox Guard or whatever it was, and you can play a little watered down version or a different version and then take that back to the console. Or if it was like Fallout, you could play Fallout on the TV and then Fallout Shelter on the pad. And then again, you could use the points and experience you learn while you're away from the game and then put it into the game. So there's a lot of opportunities there with the NX. And I mean, again, the NX, it's just recently been announced. The Switch has recently been announced. Obviously, apart from Zelda, I don't even really know what's coming on launch. I don't know what they have planned for the system. I don't know if the system's going to be terrible. So I'm not telling anyone to go out and buy it. I don't know the price point of the Switch. I don't know anything about it. But as far as the concept and the possibilities, and Nintendo being Nintendo, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a good system with a lot of good quality titles. That's gonna be worth picking up. You don't have to get it on launch, because the Wii U, I was there on launch day, and I mean, Zombie U was really fun, but I really didn't really have a reason to be there on launch. I'll buy this at launch because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but you don't have to. You wait for it, see what you think. It's going to be a good system though. And as far as the Wii U goes, that's always going to be worth it. Stop asking me if the Wii U was worth it, because I've done 2 videos on it now. It's worth it. It's a great system. It has so many good titles, and it's always going to be worth picking up. And hopefully now the price on that is going to drop too, and it's going to be much cheaper to buy. But I don't know, the Wii U is worth buying. The NX is a cool concept, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be cool. So there's both of those questions answered. And I just wanted to sit down here and talk about video games, because apart from opening loot crates and doing vlogs and going to New York and doing pickups videos, I actually haven't had a chance to talk about like Nintendo or video games or the state of current affairs in the gaming world. If you guys haven't played Gears of War 4 yet, I've been playing that a lot lately. You can add me on Xbox One, Woodbanger. It's absolutely awesome. I love Gears of War, as I said a bunch of times before. So that's one of the cooler things that's been happening lately in my life. The new Red Dead trailer looks awesome. I've been playing, I actually started the old Red Dead, the first Red Dead Redemption. I've been trying to play through that before the new one comes out. Haven't been making much progress recently with Gears 4. That's it guys, tell me what you think below about the Nintendo Switch /NX, and what do you think about the Wii U? Is the Wii U still worth it? Are you looking forward to the Switch? What do you think of the Switch? Let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you want. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. And I will see you next time on another video. I don't have a way to end my videos.
Wood didn't realize that they charge the selfies.
I didn't know you had to tip them. The best. You haven't lived in New York City until you've had 5 grown men in costumes chase after you because you were supposed to pay them and you didn't know about it.
You idiot.
Tourists. Here, hold this. I have some. Okay.
One last thing guys, I'm actually really excited to announce that I'm working with Launchbox again this month. I've done it once before, Game Chasers has worked with them before, Pat the NES Punk's worked with them before, so it's a huge honor and I'm really excited to get to work with them once again. For those of you who don't know what Launchbox is, it's a free service that lets you emulate your video games, but it kind of works like iTunes does, at least that's how I like to refer to it as, where it pulls the ROMs from wherever they are on your computer and they open the emulator software for you and they run and play them just like that. And you can put your Steam games in there, you can put your NES games in there, your SNES games, Genesis, anything, any game on your PC you can throw in there. It's a really cool service which you can pay a subscription for and get the premium service, which comes with a bunch more stuff. I think it's like a better looking system, and you can also put it into arcade cabs and stuff like that. Actually, I got the chance to play an arcade cab at Retropalooza, which was fitted and created for Launchbox, and it ran Launchbox on it, and it was actually one of the nicest looking and playing arcade cabs. Like the system was just so easy to use, so quick, so fluent. I kind of really like it. I don't emulate often, but when I do, I use Launchbox, so that's actually true. So it's awesome to be working with Launchbox once again. You can check out the link down below if you want to check it out for yourself. It's free. Download it, see if you like it, give it a try. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and thank you, Launchbox, for helping the show and supporting me, and I like supporting you guys too. You guys are awesome, so thank you. Thank you, everyone. God bless us all.